A zeal of zebras, a herd of wrens, a descent of woodpeckers, a fall of woodcock, a pack or rout of wolves, a bunch, trip, plump, or knob of wild fowl, a team of ducks in flight, a doubt or destruction of wild cats, a sounder of wild boar, a company or trip of widgeon, a school, herd, pot, or gam of whales, a bunch or knob of waterfowl, a bale or tarn of turtles, a rafter of turkeys, a hoover of trout, a knot of toads, a spring of teal, a drift, herd, or sunder of swine, a wedge of swans in flight, a game or herd of swans on land, a flight of swallows, a murmuration of starlings, a host of sparrows, a wisp or walk of snipe, a doping of sheldrake, a flock, herd, trip, or mob of sheep, a pod, herd, or rookery of seals, a heel of ruffs, a parliament, building, or rookery of rooks, a bevy of roe deer, a crash of rhinoceros, an unkindness of ravens, a string of racehorses, a berry of rabbits, a bevy of drift of quail, a litter of pups, a covey of ptarmigan, a pod, school, herd of turmoil of porpoises, a rush of flight of potsherds, a congregation, stand, or wing of plovers, a kit of pigeons in flight, a litter or herd of pigs, a bevy or head of peasants, a muster, parcel, or rookery of penguins, a muster of peacock, a covey of partridges, a pandemonium of parrots, a yoke of oxen, a parliament or stare of owls, a watch of nightingales, a span or baron of mules, a troop of monkeys, a labour of moles, a richesse of martins, a stud of mares, a sword or suit of mallard, a tiding of magpies, a pride or sort of lions, a leap of leopards, a bevy or exultation of larks, a desert of lapwings, a litter or kindle of kittens, a mob or troop of kangaroos, a flutter or smack of jellyfish, a flight or swarm of insects, a pack, cry, or kettle of hounds, a drove, string, stud, or team of horses. A bloat of hippopotami, a siege of herons, a cast of hawks, a down, mute, or husk of hares, a pack or covey of grouse, a band of gorillas, a flock, herd, or trip of goats, a cloud of gnats, a herd of giraffe, a skiing team, a wedge of geese in flight, a gaggle of geese on land, a skulk of foxes, a swarm or cloud of flies, a shoal or run of fish, a charm of finches, a business of ferrets, a herd or gang of elk, a herd or parade of elephants, a fling of dunlins, without an S, dunlin, Dunlin, a safe of ducks, on land, a paddling of ducks, on water, a flight dole, Dole, or piteousness of doves, a trip of dotterel, Dotterel. This sounds like a virgin in Japanese, dotterel. I will have to check the IPI of this English word afterwards. A school of dolphins, a pack or kennel of dogs, a herd or mob of deer, a herd of curlew, Curlew, a litter of cubs, a murder of crows, a basket of crocodiles, a herd of cranes, a covert of coots, Coots, a rack or rake of colts, Colts, a chattering of calves, Choughs, a brood, clutch, or peep of chickens, a herd or drove of cattle, a clouder or glaring of cats, an army of caterpillars, a drove of bullocks, Bullocks, a bellowing of bullfinches, Bullfinches, a herd, gain, or obstinacy of buffalo, a flock, flight, or pod of birds, a swarm, drift, hive, or erst of bees, Erst, a slough of bears, a seat of badgers, Cete, a troop of baboons, a herd or pace of asses, a shrewdness of apes. Collective names for animals and birds. Many of these names are humorous terms which were probably rarely, if ever, used. They were taken up by a writer called Joseph Strutt in Sports and Pastimes of England, 1801, and then by other antiquarian writers. The list is arranged in the alphabetical order of the birds and animals themselves.